What's up, friend? Hector here, strongestech.com. With this week's Movement Monday for the week, we're going to be carrying on with our 5 Steps to Better Mobility for BJJ series. Today we're going to be finishing off the first part, phase 3 of the first segment, I guess. First segment we were covering focusing on the hips. So there's 5 steps, and basically we broke up those 5 steps into 3 phases. So phase 1 was going through the breathing and the mobility, okay? Then phase 2 we went over the static holding positions and we went through the dynamic position. And then step 5 is going to be the strength portion, okay? Or phase 3, which is covering step 5. And we're going to be going through the strength work. Okay, so those are the 5 steps. Going through the breathing and the mobility, steps 1 and 2. Then statically controlling the position, dynamically controlling the position. That's steps 3 and 4. And then the last piece that brings it all together is the strength work. If you skip the pieces in the middle, it's going to be challenging to maintain the corrections and the improvements that you've established. So this is stuff that I'm going through, like I said, in the first few episodes of this segment. This is something I'm going through personally myself. So if you're just kind of chiming in for your first time right now in phase 3, rewind a couple of episodes that we can check out kind of what's all going on here. So now we're going to be cutting through the strength piece, and we already patterned the deadlift or the hip hinge on the last episode. So now all we're going to do is literally we're going to do the deadlift now, and we're going to be doing the single leg deadlift, and we're going to be doing a suitcase deadlift. Okay. You can progress this to where you're deadlifting a pair of kettlebells between your legs. You can use a barbell to do your deadlifting with. Really doesn't matter. The one thing you will do is you will keep your volume pretty high. You want to do like 3 to 5 sets of like 15 to 20 repetitions, which means you can't use a really heavy weight. The reason for this high rep stuff is because we want to make sure, again, that we're reloading the right software into that computer, right? So think of it as, you hear people talk a lot about resets, and you hear, think of it as like literally like resetting a computer, right? Like your body's the computer, okay? The hardware. Now, once you reboot the whole computer and you change everything, you've got to install new software, right? To make sure that it stays fixed. So the software is the exercises and everything that you're kind of putting into the body, okay? So we're going to use a single leg deadlift, and I'm going to show you why here in a little bit. And then we're going to go through the suitcase deadlift, and there's several other variations. You got suitcase deadlift, you've got, hello, my brain went blank. Single leg deadlift, and then you got deadlift, like symmetrical stance deadlift, but you're only holding one kettlebell, both sides. And then you've got 2-hand deadlift, okay, double kettlebell deadlift, and you've got the barbell deadlift. So you got a lot of different variations. If you go through one of these strength exercises, like I mentioned last episode, and you feel like your mobility got worse, again, we're using the toe touch kind of as like a test, retest kind of thing. If you feel like the toe touch got worse, maybe the suitcase deadlift was not good. So reset everything by doing the breathing, run through the mobility, static, dynamic, and then instead of doing suitcase deadlift, go through double deadlift with a pair of kettlebells, or single leg deadlift, what have you. You'll find the right exercise for you, okay, because everybody's a little bit different. So without further ado, we'll get right into this. I'm going to pattern the deadlift again, but with the single leg. So for the single leg deadlift is I'm going to have my left foot to the side of the kettlebell, okay? And same thing as the hip hinge pattern. When you sit your hips back, right? Lead with the hips, not the knees. If I lead with the knees, then I'm using my quads, okay? I want my butt to go back first, and then from there, my knees will follow, sitting back and touching the kettlebell, okay? So from here, real simple, I'm going to have this foot on the floor, just like this, okay? And I like to drag my foot back like this. That way it kind of gives me some feedback. That way I know that my leg is going straight back, okay? So keep my foot next to the kettlebell. Use this here kind of like for feedback. I'm going to slide back as if I'm trying to touch the wall behind me, okay? So you're not going to tip over like one of those tippy bird things. You're not going to go like this. That was a stiff leg. I want to sit my foot back like this. Sit back, I keep dragging, and I keep reaching back this way until I touch the kettlebell. From here, I just come right back up. Sit back again, drag this foot back, sit back, sit back, sit back. Once I touch, I can gently touch my toes here for balance if I need it, okay? Up. What I'm really focused on doing is working this hip on this side, okay? And you're gonna feel this in your glutes. I'm already feeling it, I only did 2. 15 to 20 reps. I like to start body weight first, sitting back, okay? Sit deep into that hip, make sure the hips are square. Lost my balance, touch the kettlebell, right back up. I'm gonna run through that, let's say we're gonna do 15 reps, right? I'm gonna run through that 5 reps body weight, and then I'll finish off the last 10 with the kettlebell. So, sit back, use that little drag, grab the bell, and then up. Okay, same exact thing. Sit back, sit back, sit back, touch the floor, right back up. And I'll do one more for the camera. And I'm gonna have to do the other side. That way I don't run around in circles. Right now I'm doing this on my Jiu-Jitsu mats. Probably not the best place for me to do it because the mats are kind of unstable and kind of squishy. So it's hard for me to get a good solid push. So actually the best thing to do this would be to do them on the rubber mats. But I'm shooting a video, so this is like the best location for me to do the video. So probably not the best thing for me to do it on these mats, okay? So if you're doing this at home, find a hard surface, okay? Outside on the concrete, plywood, something like that, okay? So same thing, foot here, okay? And I'm going to do a few body weight, sit my weight back, okay? Touch the bell, right back up. I'll do 3, and then I'm going to do 3 with a kettlebell. Ooh. This is live time, so you're going to see me mess up. You're going to see my body start to try to reject some of this stuff, because this is my own rehab, and you get to see it live. Well, not live, but I recorded it live, and I'm not making any edits, so if I screw things up, you get to see it. Okay, now I'm going to go again. This time I'm grabbing the bell. I'm only using 16 kilos. For me, this is challenging because of my current recovery. But if you feel like you can go 24 or more, have at it. One more. That's going to light me up. I still got more work to do, so once I turn this off, I'm actually going to go to the hard mats and finish this off. But you're getting some insight, literally, of how I'm working towards improving my mobility, hip mobility, after sitting for 8 to 12 weeks after transplant surgery, of literally how I'm working through all of this. So this is not like, this is not going to be theory, like, oh, these are going to be some extra. No, this is, I'm going to be showing you a little practical application of literally how you do this kind of stuff, all right? This is all stuff that I've learned over the last 10 years of working with guys like Gray Cook, Peter Lakatosh from the GFM system, Strong First, Sonia from Pavel, and all of the masters and all the seniors and all the top guys that do this stuff. So this is, I'm kind of taking everything that I've learned from them and then stuff from my own experience with yoga and things like that, and basically just kind of combining it all together. So if you want to learn more about this kind of stuff, look into functionalmovement.com, go to groundforcemethod.com, be sure you check out strongfirst.com. That's where all of some of the best strength minds in strength, conditioning, flexibility, and mobility reside at Strong First, Ground Force Method, and at Functional Movement Systems. So basically just kind of piecing it all together from things that I've learned that worked, don't work, and things that work for me. So you're getting to kind of see that live. Again, not live because this is recorded, but you're kind of seeing me work through this, and you'll see me struggle. You'll see me find positions that, like, man, this is really kind of kicking my ass. But that's what you want. You need to find those exercises that really challenge you, because those are the ones that you really need. The ones that are really easy, like, you don't need those. Your body's like, that's not, that, I don't need that, you know? But the ones that are like, you start sweating bullets, but yet all you're doing is like a static hold. You're not doing snatches, but yet you're freaking like sweating. That is the position you need to be doing, okay? Because your body's literally resisting making that change, okay? So, hopefully you got some value out of this. We covered the strength piece. Phase 3, single leg deadlift, and patterning it, and then going through the kettlebell. Oh, I was going to show you the suitcase deadlift. So before I forget, suitcase deadlift literally is what it sounds like you're picking up a suitcase. Here's why you would want to do that. So when I sit back, right, I sit back into my hip hinge, I grab the kettlebell. I got to make sure I stay, so the deadlift is dynamic lower body, but it's static upper body. So I don't want my upper body to move. I don't want my upper body to change, okay? Only my hips, my lower body is going to be working because I'm locking in the hips, okay? So when I sit back, it's dynamic lower body, static upper body. So when I pull, I don't want, you see how my shoulders just kind of peeled apart here? I don't want my shoulder to come out of socket. I need to keep everything packed in tight, okay? So when I sit back, my posture doesn't change as I roll through this. Okay. Other side for symmetry. Oh man, even that's working my hips. So I've got some serious work to do, and you're going to get to watch all of this, okay? This covers and finishes off the hip mobility piece. I'm going to be adding we got 3 more weeks where we're going to start covering the shoulders and how to work on improving your overhead position and all other things like that to help improve your strength, improve your kettlebell lifting, and also improve your jiu-jitsu training. Because the more mobile you are, the more flexible you are, the more resilient to injuries. You're going to have more buffer zone to get out of bad positions, that kind of thing, without getting injured. So that's all I got. I can keep rambling on. Hector again with strongestech.com with this week's Movement Monday for the week. And I look forward to seeing you on next week's episode where we cover shoulder mobility.